And I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. Philippians 1, verse 6. For many of us, 2025 was a pretty rough year. Financial setbacks, health setbacks, relationship setbacks, in a variety of ways and for a variety of reasons. For many, last year was a tough year. So I thought I would start off 2026 with a word of encouragement. The Thursday morning men's group started into a study of Philippians this morning, and the first chapter was filled with words of encouragement. Let me share with you a few. Verse 2 says, "Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ." If you were going to ask God to bless someone with a couple of gifts, grace and peace would be near the top of the list. Grace is not only God's unmerited favor, as in Ephesians 2, 8, and 9, but it's also God's power to accomplish what needs to be accomplished, as in 2 Corinthians 12, 9, where St. Paul is told by God, "My grace is sufficient for you." Peace comes from knowing that we have been reconciled to God, as in Romans 5:1, and it also comes from knowing that our lives are in the Lord's hands and that He will have the final word. Verse 6 says, "And I am sure of this, that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ." It's God who began a good work in us through the sacrament of holy baptism, through the hearing of His word, and through the witness of His people. We can count on the fact that just as He started the good work in us, He is going to be faithful to continue to complete it until He calls us home. We are saints and sinners until that great and glorious day when God calls us home. But God is at work in us as we put ourselves in the places that He has promised to work, and He shapes and molds us to be more and more like Christ. Verse 12 says, "I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel, so that it has become known throughout the whole imperial guard and to all the rest that my imprisonment is for Christ." Wow, what a great attitude. St. Paul winds up in prison and could have understandably been upset and feeling like life isn't fair. But instead, he focuses on the fact that as a result of his imprisonment, the net result is that the gospel has been advanced in a greater way. In the next verse, he mentions another positive result in that his fellow believers have been emboldened in their witness as a result of his imprisonment. Verse 18 says, "What then? Only that in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is proclaimed, and in that I rejoice." The bottom line for St. Paul in all that is going on is that Christ is proclaimed. As we enter 2026, I can just about guarantee you that there will be some rough waters to navigate. But take encouragement from Philippians and remember that God is at work both in you and through you, especially in difficult situations. Press on in the Lord.